What's up? Welcome. That's the intro. Welcome to Tyson Teddy Talk the 100, Season 7, Episode 5. Welcome to Bardo. Fucking what an episode.
We're just getting right in. Like, they just throw us in again. It's just like the one thing I'm gonna say that they listen to the podcast.
Yeah, I thought that. I was like, they listened to us.
put 45 days ago. And I'm like, oh, thank God. It gives me
they did.
Some semblance of time.
They did that the whole episode. I was like, yeah, dude, they're finally doing the time and the title cards, like we said. I mean, if they're going to do it with any episode so far, this one makes the most sense for sure.
Yeah.
This one's even more complicated than the others, which...
Oh, yeah.
Who thought that was going to ever be possible? But here we are.
Loved it.
Oh, my God. Yeah, it's like, I will say, the 100, as I've said, has never disappointed when it comes to a season. Like, it's always been good. But, I mean, it does have its ups and downs for episodes. And now that I think about it, I think genuinely the episodes that I like the least are followed by, like, the best ones.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why, but maybe they just kind of have to set up all this stuff and they don't exactly know how, and then like the next episode you're like, oh, that's why.
It's like they subvert your expectations. So
kinda.
you have an episode where you watch it and you're like, oh, I don't really know where they're going, and it's like, I don't know if I like this, and I don't know if I understand, like, they didn't explain this, and how is this, and then the next episode you're just like, oh, I get it all.
They're like, oh, they're doing it. Oh, okay.
And they explain it, and it just like makes sense. Like,
yeah.
I had the light bulb, and I was like, oh God, that's awesome.
Yeah, and as it kept going, it kept making more and more sense. Like, oh man, as soon as it starts, and the title card, Planet Bardo, 45 days ago. Octavia, my notes are which by the way I have almost 2 whole pages of notes, which is more notes than ever. Octavia tries to escape but ends up outside. Like, it's basically Octavia and Dioza getting captured, which we saw, I think, 3 episodes ago, maybe 2. Yeah. They're like transported. They're very much on a ship. They are on, like, or not a ship, but they're on a like sci-fi fucking building. Like, they're on the inside. Yeah. And then she beats up fucking 4 guards and runs outside.
I missed Octavia kicking ass. Like, I just missed it.
Yeah, dude.
It was dope. Good choreography. I was like, oh, this is good.
Yeah.
Like, I like this.
I was kind of in my head, I was starting to be like, I mean, honestly, the 2 best fighters, I would say, in the show are probably Octavia and Echo. And I was like, if Octavia can whoop all these guys' asses, they ain't level 12.
No.
Maybe
maybe Octavia's
there. I don't fucking know.
Better than Echo.
I thought that too for a second, but then I was like,
they're pretty close.
I don't know, but Echo's been doing it her whole life, you know? Octavia picked up a little late. But yeah, she runs outside and then, outside, and then one of the invisible dudes fucking clotheslines her. And I literally wrote in all cap, damn, she did a backflip. Because she straight up, like, did a full backflip from that. And then, as she's laying on the ground.
These invis dudes are just like, that's just not fair. Like, that's not a fair fight at all.
No, it's super cheap. And then, like, as soon as she's laying on the ground, a bunch of other ones materialize out of nowhere. It's like, come on, this is just cheap. But yeah, she's laying on the ground. She looks up, and like a bunch of fluorescent lights, like on a football field kind of thing, like light up, and you realize she's still inside the base the whole time. It's just like
which is cool. Like, we didn't see I guess this is spoilers for the whole episode. We didn't see the planet like at all.
Yeah,
we literally saw the forest and then like the insides of that building.
Yeah. So yeah, we are just on this building, and this forest is on the inside of the building still.
Yeah. I'm curious though if like Clark and them are on the same planet then. Because they could just be. Yeah, it's just like
why
a
would
dome.
they have to take the bridge then?
No, they're on the same planet. Like that, they're on planet Bardo.
Oh, with the ice.
Yeah,
You
well, like
mean, like,
Planet
where they are
Bardo
now?
is the
Yeah,
wintry,
yeah.
or is the snow planet,
Huh,
but like the
could be.
base is everything's under a dome.
That's possible.
I
Interesting.
wonder, maybe.
Yeah. And then it does another title card and goes over Moon Sanctum Present, which
It was
I was
cool.
like, that's
Yeah,
cool.
I like that one.
Says, my note is they're doing the title and time cards like we asked. My second note, Indra fucking rules, because she does.
She ruled this
The
whole
dude,
episode. This whole episode,
God,
she was
Indra's-
badass.
Indra's fucking awesome. And
Yeah.
at one point, I literally thought, I didn't write this down, but at one point I was like, I can't believe that she's like one of, if not my favorite characters now. Because when Indra first showed up, I hated Indra for like at least a season. Because first she was an enemy. Like, and then, I don't know, she's really, I don't want to say annoying, but like, she was
really cold.
She was
She was
very,
very
very
cold.
grounder.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very cold, very grounder, very like, these are our ways.
It was like
what
almost
was it?
not
Blood for blood or
one-dimensional,
whatever?
but just like very stuck in her ways, very like not wavering from her beliefs or her like anything. And now you like over these seasons you've seen her not like loosen up, but like just become more human, I guess, like more flawed
She's
in some ways.
absolutely grown.
Yeah.
Like she is not the same character for sure. But like still her fucking badass self.
Yeah.
But like actually with like she actually has compassion now, which I feel like she didn't at the beginning for sure. And I feel like Octavia played a big part in that and being her apprentice, you know? What a good show. Yeah, shout out. But yeah, Nelson, who I think this is the first time we've learned this dude's name. I noted that. He's the dude who has basically been like the voice for the Children of Gabriel most of the time. And he comes up and he was like, Russell needs to die. We gotta kill Russell.
Still just banging that same drum.
Yeah. And then, what does he say? He says something of like, what are you gonna do without an army? And then Indra just fucking walks up. She doesn't even say it, but like in her eyes, it's like, I don't need a fucking army. Like, you think I need an army, bro?
Yeah.
Like, oh my God. And then she does another thing that was badass too, but I can't even remember, but like it's in the same scene. And then she like turns around and says something else dope. This is great. She's great. But yeah, the faithful come up, which is now what they're calling the children of, or not children of Gabriel, the followers of the Prime.
Yeah.
The Primes, plural. And then they come up, the dude who's basically been in charge of them, who I think's name is Trent. I think they mentioned that. Or no, Trey. I think it's Trey.
It's Trey. I was
think
gonna say he looks like a
is
Trent.
the dude.
He
Kind of
looks
does.
like a fucking Trent.
Like a fucking Trent. Sorry to all the Trents out there listening, you know? But sorry. I mean, if you don't send us a picture of yourself, we'll tell you if you look like a Trent or
You look like
not.
a Trent. Oh, God.
And then he comes up and says that one faithful will die every hour until they release Russell.
Yeah,
and as he's saying this, one of them is like coating themselves in gas and like holding a candle. And this is one of the moments this episode where I was like, Indra's fucking actor is awesome and she's killing it. Because she is looking over and seeing it and is knowing what's about to happen. Yeah. And then he asks, like, will you let Russell go? And she looks over and, like, there's very clear, like, pain in her voice as, like, she knows what this motherfucker is about to do. But, like, she says something like, we're not going to release Russell. We're not going to do that. And then the woman immediately is like, for the glory and grace of the Primes, and lights herself on fire.
I'm confused. So the faithful are like the followers of Russell, followers of the Primes. So this Trent or Trey guy says one person's gonna die, like they're gonna kill themselves every hour until you release Russell.
Yeah.
But then, wouldn't just all of the faithful be dead? You're not killing anybody else.
Yeah. The problem is that they know that Indra and Clark and all them are trying to establish peace and trying to keep people safe. They really do genuinely know that, and that's why they're like, we're gonna do this, and we know that you're gonna fucking want to stop us.
But you're just, but they're doing it to themselves.
Well,
to
but
me,
they're crazy.
I'm just like, so like I would say if they're like
crazy,
if they had like captor, if they had like I don't know, children, like some of the children of Gabriel like locked up or something, and saying like one of these people will die every hour, but it's like you're just killing yourselves until you're out of people, and then there's not going to be any more faithful. It's like that doesn't really add up.
Yeah.
I mean, been like, you guys do you. We'll be over here making s'mores.
I wrote this note. I literally wrote, like, once he explained the plan and once he finished explaining the plan, I wrote, fucking let him die.
Yeah. I'm just
I was like, okay. And then Murphy brings that up later, which I think is good.
When Murphy says, when they're talking about Russell. Or they're talking to Russell.
That's pretty soon. But yeah, then real quick, Nelson, the same dude that we discovered the name of, he goes over and like tries to save them, which I thought was cool. They're very much definitely developing this character who has been in the background this whole season. This is an episode where it's like, oh, they're actually developing him. But he goes over and like tries to save her and definitely doesn't. It was too late. And then I think this is when we cut to a scene where they're basically in like a med bay kind of thing. I think it's like in the palace. And Russell's there / Shade Hada, and Nelson and Jackson and Murphy and Amori, and I think that's mainly it.
Yeah.
They're all in the room. And I wrote, Murphy's saying what I'm thinking, because he straight up does go like, what am I the only one who's seeing this not as a problem but as a solution? Like, why do we care? Let him die. I was like, it's a very Murphy thing to say.
It makes so much
Murphy's had
sense.
a lot of great moments this episode.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. He has a really funny moment later that I'm a big fan of that we're gonna talk about. But yeah, I mean, I get why they're not gonna do that. I really do, but part of me, the very cynical, joking around part of me was like, just fucking let him die.
It's a very easy solution.
Who cares? Yeah. But then it goes, Planet Bardo, 45 days ago. My first note is literally in all caps, oh shit, Damien motherfucking Dark. It's the actor who plays Damien Dark in Arrow Season 4 and multiple seasons of Legends of Tomorrow. I don't know how to say his last name, but I think it's like Neil McDonough. But I got the actor's name. So basically in this scene, it is Octavia, some like doctor motherfucker, and then Damien, which is what I'm gonna call him this whole episode because they don't give him a name, so I'm just gonna call him Damien. That's what I have in the notes.
He's like is it Archer?
Oh, I don't know. If they gave him a name, I totally didn't hear it.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, I think it's like Archer or R something.
Okay, that's good to know. But I'm calling him Damien this episode. The next time he shows up and they mention his name, that'll be his name. But for now, he's Damien fucking Dark. Let's see. So yeah, they're in like the super white room. This is like, I'll say my note about that in a second. But it's them. Damien's over by a monitor, and the dude and Octavia has like a big ol' ring around her head with fucking shit stabbing into her head. And it's basically a machine that can like read your memories. And it works really well if you cooperate. So basically he's asking questions to get her to think about it, and then it'll show up on the monitor. And she tries to resist, but like, how long can you resist that? I mean, it's literally like your thoughts. You got to be real fucking... I mean, this is... Fun fact. I guess the later part of this episode, when it comes to the machine, based off of an episode of Batman the Animated Series.
Really?
Yeah. There's an episode of Batman the Animated Series where a doctor... I think it was... Oh, man, I don't remember the character. But there's an episode where basically... he lures people. This is just a quick sidebar. The dude like lures people to a special relaxation program where he hooks them up to the machine and he asks them a question about their childhood or whatever. And basically, and they can't see because like their eyes are closed and they're facing over here. But basically, he's able to see their memories. So he's like bringing up these things of like secrets and then taping it and then using it to blackmail them.
See this
So
this whole scene with like them using this technology to read her memories and just to like find out everything that she knows reminded me 100% of Fringe, because like in the last probably 2 or 3 seasons, I can't really it's like sprinkled throughout, but like there are people in that show that like can like read your mind. And I remember one of the characters, without like spoiling it, he had his like some parts of his brain like removed so that his memories weren't in his like mind. So because they had a plan and he didn't want the bad guys to find out the plan, so they literally took the plan like out of his brain. Like they took his brain out and.
Shit.
Yeah, it's a good
I didn't
show.
know how sci-fi Fringe is.
Oh, it's fucking
very sci-fi.
Sci-fi. It's almost.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I don't really know what Fringe is, to be honest.
Well, it's like Fringe science. That's what the whole thing is. It's like the Fringe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Anyways,
cool.
But they do they do the same.
Where is
sort of
that
thing.
on, by the way?
I think it's on
curiosity.
Prime. I'm not 100%,
okay.
but I think it's on Prime.
I am really bummed. This is just a
sorry.
quick side note to anybody listening to this like later and not like when it comes out. It's coming out we're recording this a few hours before The Last of Us Part 2 comes out. So that's going to be my weekend. But I was really bummed because they're releasing all of Watchmen Season 1 from HBO for free for the weekend. And I haven't seen it, and I was going to watch it. But like, not this weekend. Literally any other weekend I would have watched it.
Just like watch it
but,
and put on OBS and just like rip it.
Yeah, I did.
I'm kidding.
No, it's fine.
I'm kidding.
We do, everything's
do
legal,
that.
all right? No one would ever do such a thing. Let's see, where are we? So yeah, they're trying to figure out. I don't know if he mentions it in this scene, but they're basically trying to find information on Clark. Mm-hmm. Like that is absolutely the goal. And then
Which still doesn't really make
my second
sense to
note for
me.
this. Well, I don't think we know why just yet, but we
No.
will. Like that, this is definitely one of those things where they're gonna uncover this pretty soon. I think
It's just
if
like
not
very
the next episode.
My speculation goggles or what, like I just can't think of it. He's like, oh, he even says like Clark is the key to like everything, and I'm like, what do you mean? I love
I'm
Clark.
subscribing
She's
to your
great.
theory more and more.
She's great and
that
all,
it's gonna be,
but like
People that-
how is she the key? It's not like
Who knows? Who knows? We'll
Just,
have
like,
to
very
we'll have
weird.
to find out in the future. But I am subscribing to your theory more of that it is possibly somebody,
The
some
shepherd?
character that we somehow have already seen.
Yeah.
I genuinely don't know how that could happen, but this
Well, we've
season
got, like,
is so
cryo
fucking
sleep,
sci-fi.
we've got
like,
a whole bunch
yeah,
of
we got
things.
cryo sleep. We got planets
So-
that jump different times. It could be an old ass Bellamy.
yeah.
I don't know.
Probably not,
we'll
though.
see. Yeah, probably not. But I will say I have
what
thoughts
happens-
on that later.
Okay.
I have thoughts on that later because I don't. That's.
I know. I
we'll-
was very
we'll-
weirded
we'll
out
get
by
to
that. But
Yeah. Let's see. So yeah, my second note for this season, or not this season, this scene. I put also, and then in all caps, this is some dark motherfucking shit. Reaching into Octavia's brain via machine. This is the 100 I'm fucking talking about. This is very like the 100, like season 2 Mountain Men, like bone marrow, like dark. I was like, this is the 100. We're there, boys.
It also felt like
was
a
great.
clip show. Like, you know
Yeah,
how-
I mean, in a way, it wasn't. It definitely. I thought they did that really well because they definitely didn't go into clip show territory where they go back to previous scenes. But I thought it was really cool for the last season of the 100 to kind of pay homage to previous seasons to like see Octavia's memories through the projection. You don't see a lot, but you do see a little bit.
through.
And I thought that was cool.
You kind of see it through the guy who's extracting her memories.
Yes,
like-
we'll get that happen. That's another scene, and I really
very
liked
weird.
that.
But I liked it.
But next scene is, let's see, Sanctum Present. Murphy goes to talk to the faithful. He was basically this is what I thought was the coolest part of this scene. He was scared to go in. He was like, I don't want to go in. They're gonna fuck me up. And Indra's like, don't worry. If anyone tries to pull you in, you're not gonna go in. If anybody tries to pull you in, I'll shoot them myself. But he goes and starts talking to Trey/Trent at the door. They're like, oh, Daniel Prime. Whoa. And then Indra is watching it through like a scope on her weapon. And he, as Murphy, I almost called him Daniel. As Murphy is looking inside, he sees the next person that they're gonna light on fire as like a kid.
Yeah.
And I thought this was cool that he was like scared originally to go in. He sees that and he pushes himself in and goes in. But I also thought it was just a really well done scene because he makes it very clear that it is him pushing in. Because if he didn't, and Indra thought that it was the other dude, she would have shot him. Yeah. Yeah. So he goes in, shuts the door. And then I think it is this scene where they find out that he's a false god.
Yeah.
And I thought the way they did that was really good. I like that a lot. The dude that originally kissed him before comes in. And he asked, what are the 4 pillars of Sanctum? And the other dude, Trey/Trent, starts reciting them. And then he recites all of them, and Murphy's like, thank you. And then he like fucking hits him in the back, and he's like, the 3rd pillar was this. And I knew he was going to do that. I was like, he's going to say I'm wrong. This is a test. But yeah, I liked how they did that. And then it goes to Planet Bardo 34 days ago. All right, so we started, I think, 45 days. Yeah. So, yeah, they've been doing it for 11 days, I believe he says, that they've been at it for 11 days. It's now the dude who is trying to get memories out of her, and Damien's not there anymore. It's just him and Octavia, and he's basically like, cooperate. I really promise you the next person who comes in here is not going to care, whether you live, and they're going to just, like, go through it and destroy your brain for the information. And then I thought it was really cool. The first time that Octavia talks back in this scene is when he keeps calling the planet Penance. And then she's like, Skyring. She's like, we call it Skyring, you piece of shit. I thought the way she corrected him was really cool. But then they make a deal saying that she'll cooperate and show him everything as long as he leaves Hope out of the report and helps her get out of there. Yeah. And they agree to that. Then it goes 31 days ago, which is 3 days later. It's still like them in the room, and he's been going through footage for 3 days.
All of her memories.
Which is this is what we were saying earlier. Yeah. I like this because it is very much him watching the show.
Yeah. So weird.
It was like,
it was the Pike scene when like she kills Pike and he's like, yeah.
Like, she kills weird, Pike, man. And he goes, yes. And it was a little weird, but I was like, honestly, I mean, I did the same thing. So
it was kind of like the show, like not poking fun of it at itself, but like
very
a little bit.
It
was very just like, this is like the quintessential viewer of the show. And he's watching the show and he's like, oh yeah, you killed Pike. You're awesome.
Yeah, I thought that was funny. And then Octavia kills Pike and the dude goes, yes. And then this is where the dude is obviously starting to fall for Octavia.
He's having a little compassion.
Get a little infatuated. Yeah. Cause she's like, I'm just a killer, and he's like, no, you're so much more. And then, which sounds much cheesier than it actually was in the scene, the way I'm putting it. But and then someone busts in the disciple armor. I thought the
funny thing is before she says or before. Somebody breaks in. He's like, "Oh, you're so much more." And then she's like, "Wait till you meet Blood Reyna." And I was like, "Oh
yeah. Wait till you meet Blood Reyna." I was like,
that's awesome.
It's really good. And then the person who busts in the disciple armor, I thought they did a really good job of this because it definitely sounded like Dioza. Yeah. Like in the armor. And then Hope's like, "Dioza, no, we need him. He's gonna help us get out of here." And then my note says in all caps, but it's motherfucking Hope. Yeah. Because she takes off the thing and it's Hope from like with the longer hair. it's Hope like
The
trying
first time.
to save her the first time, yeah. And as this goes, it starts to connect even more, and it's awesome. I I wrote, I love this fucking sci-fi shit.
It's so,
like it's so sci-fi. It's coming together so well.
But it's just like it's so sci-fi, but it's not the 100 that I like sort of know, but it still is.
It still is.
But it's just like on such a grander scale. Like it's just yes.
Yeah, they so basically they take him to the bridge to be like, you know, they're moving a prisoner to cell, whatever. And they go back to the bridge / anomaly. And they are trying to get back. There's a lot of sci-fi stuff here. I'm not even going to try and explain. But I think that's when I wrote, I love this sci-fi shit, because there's a lot of different stuff. But it explains the tattoo on Octavia's back.
Yeah.
100%. That was a really cool moment, because that's basically, you know, he explains how it's like the person's code that helps them go through the anomaly and whatnot.
The one thing I
wrote, I can't believe... Oh,
is that the one thing I didn't get is, like, I know that the helmet helps you, like, remember, but, like, does going through the anomaly only partially take your memory away? Or does it fully go away? It's only partially.
It's only the time you spent on the planet.
Okay.
And I believe he said specifically that it's when you're going, like, back.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know if it would be the same for Penance / Skyring. Sorry, Octavia. Yeah. But for Sanctum, basically. So, this whole episode ties together the beginning, or the finale of season 6.
And they did that really well, too.
Oh, yeah, dude. Then I said, I can't believe this dude helped them. I like him. I really do throughout this whole episode.
I was like, he's probably going to... I thought to myself, I'm like, he's probably going to die.
Yeah, I would not have been... He didn't... future spoilers. He didn't for this episode. Yeah. But, it wouldn't surprise me if he does. And then... I said, this is my note for this. When Octavia... Like, when Octavia's about to go back through the portal... And she has a whole moment where she's like, you're strong now, Hope. I can see that. Dioza is going to be so proud. And then I wrote, when Octavia said, I love you, I legitimately teared up. I was like, the story and the timelines have been confusing, but goddamn, it actually worked. Yeah. Like, that was a moment where I was like, this has been confusing, this has been weird, but, like, it fucking worked.
I wonder if they filmed it.
It got the emotion out of me.
I wonder if they filmed it, like, sequentially.
Oh, man, this is... For the actors, this is probably, like, so confusing.
But I wonder if they
they didn't get the whole season all at once...
Yeah.
You know, then, like, this story was probably really confusing to them.
But it does,
unless they got the whole season script.
You know, editing was good. Everything just worked so well. Because, like, when you saw a new scene in this episode, that was, like... that like butted ends to another scene in either another episode or another season, it just like clicked, and you're like, oh, I remember when that happened, and now this is that continuation. And it was perfect. It was great.
Yeah. And then it goes back to present, but present on Bardo. It's Gabriel, Echo, and Hope from the current timeline when they were going in to save Octavia and Dioza. So I said, damn, Gabriel, my man. Like, I liked how he was, like, being the moral compass, for sure. Yeah.
But I see, the thing is, like, I'm on the side of Echo and Hope. I'm just like, no, you kill everybody, you get your people, and you get out.
That's fair enough.
I know that Gabriel is, like, that type of guy, because he doesn't, even with the Primes, he didn't want to kill all of them. He wanted peace, with everybody.
Yeah. I wrote 30 minutes there on the clock, which I thought was a really cool. This is when I was like, okay, this episode's fucking dope. Yeah. Like, when they were like, okay, we have 30 minutes, we have to do this. I was like, okay. Like, and because they spent 4 episodes, like, setting this up to make it work. Yeah. And it worked. Like, it was cool. I wrote, they mentioned the last war again, which I, like, they keep mentioning the last great war. I was like, okay, that's interesting. Hope almost went...
The last great war is the one... that like on Earth. I think that's what it. Maybe not. I think that's like the last Great War.
They're saying they need. This is another mention for we need
future
Clark
war.
so that he can stop the last great.
Okay, right,
so that
right.
Clark can help us stop the last great war humanity will ever fight. I think is what he said in the previous episode. So that's one of the things we don't super know a lot about. I wrote Damien isn't the shepherd because for a second I was like, is he the shepherd? Like, because he's like the leader.
Yeah.
He mentioned the last war. Hope almost goes up to kill the dude, and you're not exactly sure why. But they kind of start to explain that later. And I feel like they'll go into
in this scene as well, while like he's giving his speech, not Hope, Echo and Gabriel are sort of talking, and he says, we find out that these people that are on Bardo aren't from Aegis, and that there might have been an anomaly or an anomaly stone on Earth. And so that's a new sort of wrinkle and everything.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't hear that. That's new info to me.
Yeah, when Echo and Gabriel are talking, because I forget, so his name's Anders, the Damien guy.
Okay.
He's saying something.
We've mentioned Anders before.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I think Anders is like the shepherd's like right hand man, and so So he's giving his speech, and then he says something, and I forget what he says, but it triggers something in Gabriel that's like, oh, these people aren't like these people aren't my people. They're not from the Aegis. And then he said something about like, yeah, there must have been an anomaly stone on Earth. So I don't. So like,
but
it's very weird. And so that's what. Yeah, I don't know how. I don't know how or when they would have found an anomaly stone on Earth. Again, like timelines.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah.
I like
The next scene is 7 days ago, which I wrote. This is previous long hair Hope, which is so weird. Like in the actual timeline, this is 7 days ago, but it's Hope from 10 years ago.
Yeah, this cut especially, I was
or
like,
5
okay,
years
wait.
Ago.
I was like, wait. Okay, she has long hair, but when is this exactly? And then when they started talking, I kind of pieced it together. But that was the cut that was a little jarring.
Yeah. I thought it was funny. Damien/Anders mentions, what does he say? He says something along the lines of like, this is what happens when you value the individual over the collective. And she was like, it's called love, you son of a bitch. It was kind of like really funny, but also the line actually worked where I was like,
the reactions.
Get him.
The reactions to her saying that too. Like, I think like all of them kind of looked like put off that she was like, she had the balls to say that pretty much. Yeah. And I was like, so pretty much everybody is very submissive on Bardo.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. I wrote, Damien just wants Clark. He's sending the team. This is when he's sending the team in to get Clark. So the like literally last episode, I believe, that team and that captain and whatnot. The one that Raven fucking slaughters out of nowhere. That's who's going back right now. So they're connecting that. They connect a lot of shit here. Let's see. And then this is also where they connect. He gives her a knife, quote unquote, but he reveals that it's not a knife, it's a tagger. Mm-hmm. And this is when he sends Hope back too. And then it ties into the end of season 6 when Hope goes back through the portal and stabs Octavia and she disappears. And that's how season 6 ended, so it ties that together. Yeah, dude. Oh. And then she reappeared here on the Bardo base. So this is where that connects. And then it goes back to Murphy in the tavern. I
wrote Murphy's about to get lit. Because they have him all oiled up, and I'm like, you're going to get lit on fire.
I love that. I wrote the acting. Both of our first notes are joke notes. I wrote the acting on the dude getting choked was real weird.
Yeah.
Because Russell comes in and starts like choking the dude out of like a threat. But he's like, he does the fake cartoon like sticking his tongue out thing, and I was like, what is, bro?
I thought he was gonna kill him, and I was like, ooh, this is gonna be interesting, but he doesn't. But then we find out. I love this scene. This was a great scene because I wasn't when they were going back and forth between Bardo and Sanctum, I was like, I don't really care about Sanctum. I just don't care. It's not really that interesting. I don't like the faithful.
They made it interesting by the end of this episode.
This
like,
episode
oh my God.
where this scene, I was like, okay, now I'm invested again into what's going on here.
Yeah, this scene was dope. The way it ended was awesome. So let's see. This is where I thought it was funny. So basically, Russell comes in, saves Murphy, being like, "Oh, I can't believe you guys would call him a false god. He's not a false god. It's fine." And then Murphy starts walking out, and I thought it was funny. He's like, "Took you long enough to Amori." She's like, "Oh, had to find the right dress," which I thought was cute. And then he like looks behind her and goes, "Well, you did."
I'm like, this.
I was like, Murphy.
It's such a Uncharted. Like an Uncharted.
Oh
line.
yeah,
something like Nathan Drake
Absolutely.
would say, and I'm just like, oh, like it's
Murphy's
just
very
so
kind of Nathan
tongue-in-cheek,
Drake in a
and
weird
I'm
way
like,
sometimes.
I give it a pass, even though it's like you were
Oh,
about
no,
to be
but
lit
it's-
on fire, okay, dude? And then now you're just so nonchalant, and you're like, oh
Well,
yeah, you
he
picked the right
saved, you know?
dress.
I thought it really. There are very few characters on this show that would have worked with, and Murphy is one of them.
Oh, it's true.
And then, so then Russell's basically like talking to the faithful, and at one point I think the line he says is "kneel or die," and
Is that the
Indra
one?
the
That's the
whole
one, yeah.
time. But even before he says that, Indra's like stepping up a little bit closer and like watching Russell because and I thought it was very interesting even before the line because she's very clearly noticing him acting a little differently and a little more like threatening.
A little more
I thought she was straight up.
Yeah.
I
Very-
thought she was straight up gonna be like, "What are you doing, Russell? Like this is."
Yeah.
But then he says, "Kneel or die," and Amori notices Indra, and she's like, "What's wrong?" And she's like, "I've heard that before."
And then I was like, oh shit, she knows, and I was just like,
I wrote in all caps, "Indra knows." And then my next note is, "Oh shit, the way she did that, oh my fucking god!" Because
when
the
she
way,
tricks him?
like, she knew, but then as he's walking out, in Grounder or whatever the language is, because they have a bunch of languages, she says like, "There's a spider on your shoulder" to him, and he looks at his shoulder.
Yeah.
And then I was like, "Oh shit!" And then he turns because he knows that he just gave himself away too, because Russell wouldn't know Grounder, and
he
then,
knows that she knows, and it's just perfect.
Yep, absolutely. He turns. I can't remember. She says something awesome. I didn't write down the line, but it's something really cool. And then he's like, he says, "Too bad you can't kill me."
Yeah.
I was like, fuck. I wrote literal actual chills like I did from this scene. I was like, oh, this is
because
awesome.
when he's like, Trey, this is just a little bit before this, Trey like is saying something about like, oh, Russell, like, forgive us, what can we do to show you like our allegiance or something? And then I think that's when he says kneel or die, and like the whole room kneels like that too. And I think also Indra's very weary because she knows that like his people now are like would do anything for him, and that's But when I was watching this scene as well, I'm like, all of those faithful, all of those followers fit into one room. Like, there's not that many. Again,
Hey man, it's a big tavern. There was multiple floors in there.
Knock them all out.
But we're trying to keep them alive. I don't know. We're trying to value human life.
But you can still value the good human life.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't know.
That's fair. I feel you. That makes sense. And then I was glad this scene kept going.
Yeah.
I thought they were gonna like cut back to other stuff, but they cut back to Russell in the palace or in the the palace, and then it's just him and Indra, and they have like a whole conversation in Grounder and like of them both knowing who they are and whatnot. It's really dope. I can't remember what he says to provoke this. I think he says like, "No one will know," or like, "You can't kill me, that'll make me a martyr," or something like that. And then Indra says something along the lines of like, "Oh, we can," or something like that. And then she says, "Only then as the people riot for the loss of their god, I can slit your throat."
Well, yeah, she says something about like how she can expose him
Yeah.
as not Russell. So
Yeah.
like Russell's
And
dead,
once-
and once
Yeah.
once his followers find out that he's dead, then she can kill him.
Then
but
as his people riot for the loss, I was like, that's
the thing
such
is,
a good line.
the thing is though, the one thing
It's
that
awesome.
what's her face Indra doesn't remember, excuse me, is that yes, the faithful will be like Russell's dead, but then the grounders will be like Shade Hada's alive.
Well, yeah, but I don't think they want.
No, remember that one guy did.
Really?
Remember
I
when
don't remember that.
when Gaia says like the commander is like there's no more flame.
Oh,
And then
yeah, because
something
he was,
about Shade
he was
Hada.
from that clan.
Yeah, and then he's like Shade Hada was one of the greatest warriors of all time. And so my guess
It's not. That's a good point.
My guess is something's going to happen. Everybody's going to find out that he's not Russell, that he's Shade Hada. The faithful will stop following him, but then he'll get the grounders again. And then I think that...
Shit. That I could see that.
Yeah,
I could
that's
see
gonna
that.
be
We're
cool
we're
little-
following prediction number one.
Yeah.
Prediction number one actually is that the shepherd is
Somebody.
one of
Somebody we've
we
seen
know.
in the- it's
Prediction
probably-
number
it's
two.
Pike.
Oh my god! Could you imagine? I would lose my shit because I'd be like, he has to fucking die again. Kill him. Oh my god, I hated Pike so much. Pike is one of the only moments in like my entertainment history where I saw a picture. Like I think the first time I saw a picture of like a behind the scenes picture of the actor who played Pike with everybody else, and he was kind of smiling. Where I still had a feeling where I was like, this fucking guy.
I love actors. I love actors that play characters that I hate because I know that they're good actors.
Yeah.
Because it's
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
if you play a character and I'm like, oh my God, I hate that character so much. It's like, that is such a testament to that actor. Because it
Yeah.
takes you out of the whole, this guy's just playing a part.
And usually, at least for really annoying or really mean villains, really fucking evil dudes, a lot of the time they're the nicest actors.
Oh, yeah.
They're the nicest people.
Like Cersei.
Like the Pike's actor was fucking like super nice. Like
Cersei?
I started seeing
Jaime
more on
Lannister?
Twitter and I was like, wow. Yeah. Yeah. Man. But yeah, he's the only time in the history of me watching anything where I slightly got a little bit confused between actor and character.
Yeah.
You know? Where I was like, this fucking... And then I was like, oh, no, it's fine. He's fine. And then let's see. Yes. So after that line, other people come in. Like I think Nelson and Jackson.
And some
I think
other followers of Gabriel,
John
yeah.
Murphy was there too. Yeah. And then they come in and they said, I can't remember what she says, but she's basically like, we can't kill you, but we can make sure you're not coming back.
Yeah.
And they're basically like taking the mind drive out, which I think is very weird because I didn't fully understand this because I thought that was how he is Shade Hada.
Yeah.
I thought he uploaded himself to that mind drive.
It would be the same,
You know?
like, remember when Clark and, what's her name?
Lexa.
No. Russell's daughter.
Oh, it starts with a J.
Yeah. But remember
it's
when
a
they were
joke.
both in like the mind drive and we saw inside the mind drive and
Yeah.
they're like talking? So that was the
Yeah.
same as like when Russell and Shade Hada were in the mind drive, but then
Yeah.
Shade Hada kills Russell. So there is no
Yeah.
more like Russell's not even
But
a
I thought
part.
that was still like in the mind drive. You know, I thought like he was still like I guess I viewed the mind drive basically as a brain, you know, like
Okay,
he
yeah.
downloaded, but I guess he like downloaded himself to the mind drive and then to the actual brain once he won out over Russell.
Yeah.
Then he like assimilated to the brain / the rest of the body. You
That's
know?
what I don't really understand with the mind
That
drive. Like
would
if you
make
take it
sense.
out, is the person on the mind drive or is the person
I guess the person at this point is just in
Just the brain.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It went once. Like the person, like two people are in the mind drive. Let's say the mind drive's right here, right? And then once one of them wins, one of them disappears, the other one goes to the brain, and then the mind drive
just
just kind
takes
of
over
like
the brain?
yeah. And the mind drive I think is there just for the future,
Right.
you know.
And
I
so
guess.
what they were doing is making sure that if they kill him, or when they kill him, that his mind, his consciousness doesn't go back into the mind drive.
Yes. There we go.
Look at that.
Sci-fi science, dude.
Mind Drives 101.
Dude, we nailed that. I like it. And then let's see. Jackson was going to numb him, and he was like, for the pain. And Andrew's like, no, let him feel it.
And then she's like, for Abby. But I'm like,
Yeah.
he didn't
And
do
Jackson
anything
was like,
to
okay.
Abby, technically.
Yeah, I thought about that. I was like, did Shade Hater ever do anything?
But I was like,
to
but
Abby?
wait, who did she tell? Like, do you
Tell
think
what to?
that it's Shade Hater and not Russell? That's the only thing that I'm thinking of.
That's a good question. I don't think we're gonna know who knows that yet.
I think it's still just her in that scene right now.
I mean, she might have told like Jackson, who's there, about to take out the mind drive. I don't know. She might have told other people in that scene, but I don't think that's anything we can assume yet. You know, for now it's just like only she knows. I would say. I said Russell's actor did awesome here too.
Yeah.
Out of like there were a couple moments where I really noticed the acting of some people. I was like, this is fucking dope. Like he nailed Shade Hater because he was like, it was very much the, oh man, like the head Uruk-hai in Fellowship of the Ring at the end where he grabs the sword and pulls. It's very much like that. Like I'll take the pain. I can deal with it. You know, it was like that look. I also wrote this show fucking rules because I was very much enjoying the episode. Then it goes to Planet Bardo 7 days ago, which, by the way, this is the doctor's like name, but I didn't fully catch it. I didn't have subtitles.
Wasn't it like
it was either Link? Like Levin or Levin or
Levitt.
Or
I think it was Levitt.
Levitt.
Yeah,
that seems about right. So they mention him. He's getting taken off of Octavia's case because they think he's getting too close. And then he gives her a whole thing where he thinks that she can beat the machine with a single mantra. And then she references, I am not afraid. Or he brings it up like your mother told you on the Ark. So her plan is to like repeat, I am not afraid. Which, to come full circle to the Batman the Animated Series episode, this is how Batman beat the villain. Because he knew what the machine was doing, so he thought of certain things to make it like fake. Okay, so he like thought of a fake memory. It's good. Shout out to that show. And then I also wrote. My voice is leaving me. I also wrote that Bellamy is here. At this point, this is when I don't know if it's this scene or not.
Yeah, so like
actually,
from last season, from the beginning of this season, I think we have Bellamy getting dragged by an invisible person.
Yeah,
and then that I think they take him back to Bardo, and however something happens, however something happens, then he has like a knife to the dude's throat.
Yeah, he's standing. I don't know if this is right here. I don't think it is right here because I remember writing notes on that specifically. It goes to present. The three, Gabriel, Echo, and Hope go in to rescue Octavia, and that dude is not there. Levitt is not there. Octavia's 100% like in a catatonic like coma where she's just like muttering I am not afraid, but like in a really creepy like fuck, like your brain like, it's almost not all there.
Like it didn't technically sound like I'm not afraid, but like she was just like zoned out. Yeah, absolutely. So then this is when it goes and shows Bellamy is standing. This is when the timeline got a little bit confusing, but they cleared it up in a second. Bellamy is standing on the bridge, in the bridge area with a knife to the conductor, as Damien calls him, surrounded by like 3 or 4 dead bodies that he killed. I was like, hell yeah, Bellamy. And first time we've seen Bellamy this season, I was kind of like, oh, there he is. There's my boy. And then Damien goes to send Bellamy back to Sanctum because Octavia agreed that if he sent him back to Sanctum, she would tell him everything, including everything
Clark.
about Clark. Yeah.
And then one of the Sanctum dudes still alive on the ground is like, for the will of the shepherd. A lot of cult stuff going on in this show. And he like activates a grenade or like a pulse grenade kind of.
Yeah, that's what was really confusing about this scene, because it looked like it was just
they did that on purpose.
It was just a push grenade. And so I was like, oh, okay. It's just going to push. But then the way she reacted, I was like, wait, is he? I
think that the Sanctum dude on the ground did it not to kill everybody, because why would that be for the will of the shepherd? Yeah. I think he did it because he knows it's a pulse grenade, he knows it's a push grenade, and he heard that Bellamy wasn't wanting to go back to Sanctum, and he did it to push Bellamy into the bridge so that he would go back to Sanctum, and then Octavia agreed, so then she would tell them everything, you know? Yeah. Maybe I'm thinking the dude's too smart, I don't know. But then it actually, this is where the timeline gets kind of cleared up, because it zooms out and it shows still the three of Echo, Hope, and Gabriel were watching that on the projection of Octavia's memory. Yeah. And Echo starts losing her shit.
Oh yeah,
she's like,
I said Echo went off, like she goes nuts.
Yeah,
and I loved
she
it.
Loses her goddamn mind.
Part of me thinks that Bellamy is still alive because of this. Because
that's
of
my
that.
thing. That's what I'm gonna say.
Because of how she reacted. Because I don't know.
She loses her mind because she thinks he's dead after watching that, and then she beats the shit out of the doctor dude, and everybody's like, "Stop! We need to take him as a hostage," and she fucking grabs the big old spear thing that they showed earlier in the sky, like the lab equipment, and brings it down and stabs the dude in the chest.
And he just spits up blood, and I'm like, wait, this is the CW.
Well, they do. That's like the main thing that I love about this show is there are so many, like, it has gotten graphic before.
I'm impressed.
With, like, super bloody and they do it a lot, and every single time it still continues to surprise me. Yeah. Where every time I'm like, this is on the CW. Look at this. Look at this. It's happening. And then Echo beats the shit out of the dude and stabs him out of the rage. And then my last note is, why do they think Bellamy is dead?
I know.
He's not dead.
I was like,
his body wasn't there.
So first, I was thinking that Anders pushed a whole bunch of buttons and was not going to send him back to Sanctum. That was going to send him somewhere else, and he said it was Sanctum. Yeah, that's what I thought. And then when I saw that the grenade go off, and then the anomaly portal wasn't there anymore, I was like, oh, he just got pushed. But then you see reaction from Octavia, and she's like screaming and crying. I'm like, wait, does everybody think he's dead?
I think everybody does, which is so weird to me.
It just doesn't.
This might be, if he is alive later and we find that out, and which he's got to be, because like he's the main character of the goddamn show.
Well, that's the thing. That's the other thing, is if you step outside of like the show, if he is dead, that is a really shitty way to kill off a first season character.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no way.
No.
You know what I mean? Like they did Kane better. Yeah. Like and Kane was,
even with Abby,
and he was a first season character, but Kane was a character that we hated for a while before he like changed. But like they've done every first season character, they've given a lot of respect with their death, you know. But then again, we've heard like other like production side of stuff, so maybe it is the only way they could. I don't. No. They would have to they would figure out some way to do it better. Yeah. But even in the logic of the world, like after the grenade exploded, they showed a shot of like where Bellamy was standing. There's no body.
Yeah. So it's like
the portal's gone and there's no body. So
unless
like
that is
went through a portal.
Because that grenade doesn't like vaporize anything. Because it just I don't know.
Maybe that's what they thought. Maybe they thought that it disintegrated. But then again, Octavia was standing there too. She didn't get disintegrated.
She just got pushed back. Yeah.
Everybody else didn't get disintegrated. So
I don't know. No, it was very weird. I wish that they would have done that scene a little bit better in the way that
I don't know how they could.
The viewer could actually be like, "Oh, there's a possibility he's dead." Because I still just don't think there's a possibility he's dead. Because
if he is, they would have to explain that more. You know, like I'm so convinced that he's not, that it's like.
But I would have rather had something where I was asking the question like, he could be dead. Like that was a pretty convincing scene. But this just looked like, oh, it just pushed him through. They think he's dead, so they're gonna keep going. And maybe it pushed him like back in time, and Bellamy's the shepherd. You know,
that's the only logical conclusion to this.
Anything's possible now,
dude. It really is. But yeah, I really good. That's probably my only complaint from this episode. Really good episode overall. Like, it was very satisfying to start seeing things like actually start to connect and make more sense. I think I said this not on the show and before the show. I feel like every time there is an episode of the 100 that I'm like, it's not bad, because it's very hard to have a bad episode of the 100. But like every time there is one that is like, that wasn't great, the next one is always great.
Yeah.
The next one's always like the best one so far of the season. So yeah, I'm very happy with this overall. Especially coming off of last week. I'm like, this was great.
Oh, yeah.
They nailed it.
I will say that I'm a little disappointed in Bardo. Like, I kind of wanted a little bit more sci-fi esque. Like,
I'm okay with what they did, because like they did still make it very sci-fi, and they did still make it. It's not like they cheaped out. It's not like
Cyberpunk 77 or 2077. It's not like a crazy city, a crazy world like that. It's not like
which
Coruscant.
is kind of what we wanted, but also I'm okay with what we got, because it's not like I said, I was like, if it's another goddamn forest or something, you know, like it has, the way they set it up, it had to be sci-fi and weird.
I just want to pull
technological,
back.
And it still was.
I want to see.
It was still.
I want to see that
technological.
dome. I want to see like I want to see like where that dome is. Like, I just want to see all of that.
Yeah.
I need more context into how everything is like laid out. Because right now we just see the forest under.
I don't know if they're ever gonna do that.
I wish.
You know, I was thinking about that too. Like, it'd be really cool to see like a fucking globe shot of the planet. Like, but like I don't think that's that kind of show. You know, like I don't think they're gonna do that.
Because we see the top.
I feel like that's a more high production kind of thing.
We see like Sanctum from sky, like from bird's eye view. I just kind of want to see just the scope of things, because right now, it's hard to think of the scope of Bardo, like how big it is, because all we've seen really are like a tech room, a couple of like very big hallways, and then that forest that's under under those lights or whatever. So it's hard for me to like think of like this place as like is it a big place? Is it a small place? Like when you see Sanctum, you're like, okay, I get the scope of Sanctum.
Yeah.
Maybe in the future, once like everybody comes together or something, I don't know.
Well, that is episode 5, ladies and gentlemen. We still have another 11 episodes. Right? Like, that's awesome. There's still a lot they can do. They're starting to actually tie some things up.
This episode
and there's still a lot could happen.
The highest rated on IMDb.
Good.
It's a 9.2.
I would agree. For sure. Hell yeah. Well, thank you for watching and or listening, people. I appreciate it. You can find me on twitter.com/TeddyChinaris and twitch.tv/TeddyChinaris and Instagram at the same place and all that stuff. We'll be back next week for sure. Where can people find you, Tyson?
You can find me on Twitter at Tyson Pellegrini, Instagram Pellegrini_17, and Twitch TPellegrini. I think this week I'm going to try and... I don't know if I'm going to stream The Last of Us, but I'm definitely going to try and make a video.
It's too risky.
Yeah, I'm going to make a video of like my first little bit with it. Nice. Do something with that. Nice. Very excited. Very, very excited.
I was thinking that maybe I might start streaming it once I finish the story.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then, like, if I do decide to go for the platinum, which I might, I don't know. It completely depends on how I'm feeling. I don't know. Yeah. But if I do and I restart it, then I'd hop on stream, because then I have no risk of being split.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Thank you guys for watching. We will catch you next week for episode 6.
Peace.